Hello, I'm Jared, and this is my audience. Who has ever thought that once they became an adult, they would have to be independent and survive on their own? I know I sure did. But after becoming an adult, I quickly learned that to truly survive, you need support and help. You are never strong enough that you don't need help. This is a quote by Cesar Chavez. I take it that people often have a stigma that strength means independence, and you are only strong if you are alone. And he's obviously contradicting this stigma. Now, I agree with Cesar Chavez, because I often have heard that people use that kind of language, that true strength only comes from people who are independent and don't need help, when in actuality, the strongest thing anyone can do is ask for help. We'll talk about this with 3 stories. First, we'll look at a personal story of mine about how I used to have this incorrect idea. Secondly, we'll look at the story of the Avengers. And lastly, we'll look at the story of the labor movement that Cesar Chavez fought for himself. When I first started college, I felt like being an adult now meant that I had to do everything on my own. I never sought help from counselors, from friends, or family. Doing it this way, I struggled a lot. I found myself on many days feeling close to giving up on school entirely. It was only when I finally broke that wall and asked for help from my family to get support with all of the stress that I found that true strength inside of me to keep going and complete my college career. Now let's look at another story, one of the biggest franchises ever, the Avengers, specifically Infinity War. The whole movie, we follow the broken and destroyed heroes as they try to fight off Thanos. Specifically, how many of them try to do it one-on-one, like with Tony Stark. They always fought thinking that they were protecting everyone, but in actuality, they were just harming themselves. It was only in the end, when they finally came together with a full army of heroes from all across the universe, that they were able to finally beat Thanos as a team. The help of everyone was the biggest showing of strength that they displayed in the entire movie. Now, to wrap things up, let's talk about the civil rights movement that Cesar Chavez fought for. When the labor rights of many farm workers were being disregarded, many people felt hopeless because who could fight against the massive farm corporations? Well, to answer that question, no one. But the only way to fight back is to fight back with numbers, which is ultimately what Cesar Chavez did. He brought together a large group of laborers, and together they were able to advocate for the people to get better rights for their jobs and to fight against those corporations. So today, we looked at my personal story. We then looked at the story of the Avengers. And finally, we looked at the story of Cesar Chavez himself. You are never strong enough that you don't need help. A testament to the idea that true strength comes from asking for help. Many people are under that false pretense that strength is a solo act. However, this couldn't be further from the truth. There's a reason that the notion of strength in numbers exists. The more help you have, the stronger you can be. So never be afraid to ask for help. You might find that the weakest thing you can do is ignore those that are willing to help you. Thank you.